26-year-old Tavares Taylor, better known as rapper Lil Reese, in critical condition here tonight with a single gunshot wound to the neck. Police still searching for the man who shot him.
Tavares Lamont Taylor, born January 6, 1993. Today's feature is one of my favorite rappers produced from a hip-hop scene that's taken over the genre in the last 10 years, drill, or drill music as it's often referred to. Not only was he a product of it, he's arguably one of the first to make drill music popular within that span, along with names like Chief Keef, of course, Lil Durk, Fredo Santana, rest in peace, Rondo L.A Capone, rest in peace as well, and Lil Reese. Were they the ones that started it? No, they did not. That respect usually goes to guys like King Louie and a name you probably never heard of, Pac-Man, from a place called Dro City in Chicago. Drill music is basically a highly aggressive, violent, ultra-disrespectful form of rap music, usually intended to aggravate your opposition, or ops to use drill vocabulary, and say the most disrespectful things you could say over a beat that's guaranteed to make the crowd dance along as you disrespect whomever the target is. Drill music was a natural occurrence in Chicago because of all the real-life violence happening daily in their streets, and used as a way to antagonize the enemy or taunt them about the scorecard of death being in your gang's favor. One of the most disrespectful things you could say, and also the one phrase that's now almost a household sign of disrespect, is to say you're smoking one of the fallen members of your rival gang. Basically, whatever weed you may roll up, you replace that with a name, which signifies victory for your side. In 2022, drill music couldn't be more popular. Of the most popular rappers today, drill rap is present in just about all of them. With the popularity drill has reached, you would think today's feature Lil Reese would be a bigger rap artist, just like a few names he came up with and had opportunities before. Lil Reese actually signed a record deal before Chief Keef and the same time as Durk, as Def Jam reportedly gave he and Durk $1 million to split for their drill services. Today, Lil Durk is one of the most popular faces in hip-hop and the biggest Chicago rapper in the game right now. Chief Keef is right there with him, although Keef prefers to play the background as he leads a cult-like following of his music, sort of the same energy a young Gucci Mane came up with, and is comfortable in his situation as the father of drill styles, seen in just about every artist after him in the drill scene. Keef is like the Lil Wayne Gucci Mane of drill. Lil Durk would be the Drake of drill, commercially more successful, but Keef is a pillar that will never be moved. Then there's Lil Reese, arguably the most feared, mainly off wax. He was supposed to have built his own following and be up there success-wise with the Keefs and the Durks if these things didn't happen. Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth Music. Let's get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Lil Reese is from the south side of Chicago, a neighborhood called Lamron, which is normal spelled backwards, which is the real street he represents along with Lil Durk. Reese was always a hothead as a child and known for being a guy that if he made a promise to see you in the streets, you could count on it, like saying the name Candyman 3 times. Unlike Chief Keef, who was always known as a rapper that was in the streets, Reese was solely a street cat until in 2012, Chief Keef would release a song called Don't Like featuring Lil Reese that changed the game forever and birthed every single drill rapper that came after that day. From UK drill to Bronx drill to African drill, yes, African drill. They all bow down in praise to that one song. While it was Keith Sosa's song, it was Lil Reese who stood out to Def Jam, and before you knew it, he was already signed to a major record deal. Off just one feature and another solo song he released right after Don't Like called Us, which was then remixed to feature Drake and Rick Ross. We also have to give credit to Kanye West, another Chicago legend that first took the song and made it the household name it became by remixing it and putting it on his Good Music Cruise summer album. That's when it really took off and opened the doors for the young Chicago rappers to become stars. Reese became popular, but never really a star. Why? Stunt number 1, not understanding opportunity. When I say that, I don't mean something was wrong with the way Lil Reese processed information, as if he was somehow slower than others, but that he was either too young or too much in the streets to see the business side of where his chances would come. I can't even begin to explain how big of a song Don't Like wound up becoming from 2012 and after, especially after Kanye decided to highlight it on his platform. To be one of 2 rappers on the song should have put him right next to Chief Keef if everything went as planned. Only they didn't, and Chief Keef has managed to surpass Lil Reese in just about every category. To me, it still feels like Reese is trying to get on as a rapper, even though he's already popular. Much of that popularity, I think, comes from the energy he gives off as a scary figure you don't want to mess with in street beef. The allure of Reese is probably his biggest asset. Only thing is, allure doesn't always sell if you don't take advantage of timing and opportunity. An example of one of his first missed opportunities was his first hit song, Us, which he cooked up right after recording Don't Like. He knew what Don't Like would be and ran to the studio to record Us just to have something of his own when Don't Like popped. He was right. Don't Like took off, and right behind it was his solo song Us. Instead of using that for his own mixtape or even a quick debut album, he allowed it to be remixed by 2 of the biggest rappers in the game at the time in Drake and Rick Ross, and allowed Ross to put it on his mixtape with the thought it would become even bigger. With the fire Chicago drill was about to have, having that on his own project could have meant more individual success for Lil Reese and not being overshadowed by those 2 artists. The original song or video isn't even on his own YouTube channel. Instead, it's on the cameraman's channel, who eats off that song every time Reese's name gets hot. Reese is on Vlad TV as we speak, with Vlad saying that song is his favorite song by Lil Reese, which I know brought more views and popularity to it, and even I had to go back and listen because of the Vlad interview. His entire career, it seems Reese misses on opportunities because he just doesn't fully understand who he could be. Stunt number 2, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Of the biggest things I never understood about Reese was why he hasn't fully left the streets. Even if he has recently, why hasn't it been sooner? It seems of all the drill rappers that became popular around the time Chief Keef and Durk did, which includes Lil Reese, they all moved out of the violent streets of Chicago and focused solely on music. It's well known that Reese still plays Chicago very close and seems he loves the streets of it so much that he'll never be too far away. I know this because whenever you see one of the bigger artists return home, Reese is always there to greet them and show support. Also because he's still getting into street activities in the streets, like getting caught on camera as his ops jumped him and allegedly made him defecate on himself. Or the time he was caught in traffic and shot with a Draco in the neck, which led to him losing a great deal of his voice and almost completely took music and his life away. Most recently, he was caught in a parking lot shootout in 2021, the aftermath caught on camera, where it looked like that could have been the end of the cat with 9 lives. Except he was walking around just fine in just a few days. That's no way to live, period. But if you're to do this music seriously, you have to make a choice. Reese seems to like the streets a little more than the music at this moment. Stunt number 3, the results of the streets. The biggest stunt in his growth is the fact his voice seems to be forever different because of the 2019 shooting. Being critically wounded by a shot to the neck took away Lil Reese's voice as we knew it for the time being and what looks to be the way it is from here on out. He already had a softer voice and to me already struggled to get his point across on wax vocally before the shooting. With this huge change in how he sounds, how long he could rap, and how long will he be able to sell music with this sound, greatly stunted what Reese could have been. He didn't have the most bars, but he had his own style. His voice sounds significantly different now, almost like what happened to Beanie Siegel's voice after a significant part of his lungs were removed during surgery. For Reese, you wish he never stayed so long in the Chicago streets, but then again, that's all he knows. The streets gave him the mentality of being real means being the ruler of your streets. The thing is, that's not how you become a successful rapper. A street rapper will never be as big as he can as long as he stays in those environments. All in all, Reese is still a drill legend. He made a way for himself, and no matter if he didn't reach his potential or won't in the future, he still made a better life for he and his family. I can't help but wonder what life could be if not for these reasons though. Salute to Lil Reese, much respect, but for these reasons, his growth was stunning. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth Music. Like, subscribe, let me know what I should do next, and I'm out.